GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, Toronto. I'm Jordan Parker. The taste of the Danforth drew thousands today under tight security, and a severe thunderstorm warning has just been lifted across the region. Traffic's moving with minor delays from construction, and the National Bank Open Women's Round of 16 is underway. Nathan, what do you make of that?
Taco Fest kicks off this Sunday at Trinity Bellwoods Park, showcasing 40-plus food trucks serving authentic Mexican street fare, alongside live mariachi performances and a kids' taco building workshop.
The festival runs from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m., offering free entry, a salsa dancing stage at noon, and a charitable raffle supporting local youth programs.
Organizers announced a special taco tasting competition at 2 p.m., judged by 3 renowned Toronto chefs, with the winner receiving a $500 gift card to a downtown restaurant.
With tacos sizzling, music playing, and families gathering, the city buzzes with excitement. Lots to get to, let's begin. Here are our top stories.
Second day of the Taste of the Danforth on August 9th attracted thousands of visitors to Danforth Avenue, with heightened security measures responding to safety concerns. Dev Showri has the full story.
Day 2 of the Taste of the Danforth saw a surge of festival-goers spilling onto Danforth Avenue, with organizers estimating the crowd in the thousands. Police and private security units patrolled the main stretch, their presence amplified after heightened safety concerns were voiced by city officials. Vendors continued to serve classic Greek dishes and international street fare, while families and tourists moved between pop-up stages and food stalls. The added checkpoints and visible officers aimed to keep the atmosphere lively yet secure, allowing the event to maintain its reputation as one of Toronto's biggest summer gatherings. Despite the extra precautions, the buzz remained upbeat as music and aromas filled the neighborhood. Dev Showri, GMNA News, Greektown.
Ontario families are pressing health officials for stronger West Nile virus alerts as mosquito season peaks, warning that infection risk rises sharply. Simone Okonkwo has the full story.
Families across Ontario are pressing health officials for a louder public push on West Nile virus as mosquito activity hits its peak. They say the current season, when bites are most common, has left many uneasy about the chance of flu-like symptoms turning deadly. Ontario's health ministry has reiterated the need for simple steps: wear long sleeves, use insect repellent, and eliminate standing water around homes. The agency also warns that severe cases can lead to serious illness or even death, especially for seniors and those with weakened immune systems. While officials continue to circulate guidance, several affected households argue that more visible education campaigns could save lives. Simone Okonkwo, GMNA News, Toronto.
After hours of heavy rain and lightning, the severe thunderstorm warning for the Greater Toronto Area, Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, Barrie, and Peterborough has been lifted. Simone Okonkwo has the full story.
The severe thunderstorm warning that swept across the Greater Toronto Area and spilled into Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, Barrie, and Peterborough has now been lifted. Meteorologists said the storm system lost its intensity overnight, with rain tapering off and wind gusts dropping below warning thresholds. Residents who were advised to stay indoors can now resume normal activities, though officials remind drivers to stay alert for lingering slick patches on roadways. Power crews reported that most outages have been restored, and schools and businesses are set to reopen as planned. No new severe weather alerts are in effect for the region at this time. Forecasters expect calmer conditions through the rest of the day, with only light showers possible later this evening. Simone Okonkwo, GMNA News, Toronto.
Toronto police have arrested a 32-year-old man, charging him with first-degree murder in the December 2025 killing of a woman. Dev Showri has the full story.
Police say a 32-year-old Toronto man was taken into custody on August 8, 2026, and is now charged with first-degree murder. Investigators linked him to the killing of a woman that took place in December 2025. Officers located the suspect after a months-long inquiry, executing an arrest in downtown Toronto. Detectives said the suspect was identified through forensic analysis of the crime scene and a witness interview. The Toronto Police Service confirmed the charge and said the case will proceed through the courts. No further details about the victim or motive have been released at this time. The department emphasized that the investigation remains active as they continue to gather evidence. Dev Showri, GMNA News, Toronto.
Porter Airlines canceled a scheduled flight to Toronto after a child could not fasten the seatbelt, prompting the carrier to halt departure under safety regulations. Dev Showri has the full story.
Porter Airlines canceled a scheduled flight to Toronto on Saturday after a young child would not fasten the seatbelt. The aircraft was parked at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport when crew members discovered the passenger could not secure the belt. The cabin crew attempted several times to assist the child and the accompanying adult, but the belt remained unsecured. Following Transport Canada's safety rules, the captain halted the departure until the issue could be resolved. When the child continued to refuse, the flight was called off. Passengers were informed of the cancellation and offered rebooking on later services. A Porter spokesperson said the airline must comply with mandatory safety regulations before any aircraft can leave the ground. No injuries were reported. Dev Showri, GMNA News, Toronto.
The fire marshal leads a probe into the Etobicoke House fire and will bring details after the break. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. Ontario's fire marshal has taken charge of the investigation into a deadly Etobicoke House fire that claimed one life on Saturday morning. Authorities are reviewing the scene and interviewing neighbors. Simona Okonkwo has the full story.
At a two-story house on a quiet Etobicoke street Saturday morning, flames broke out shortly after 8 a.m., quickly engulfing the interior. Fire crews arrived within minutes, but the blaze claimed the life of a single occupant, a middle-aged man identified by authorities. Because a death was involved, the provincial fire marshal's office stepped in to lead the investigation, superseding the local fire department's routine inquiry. Investigators are combing through the scene, collecting evidence and interviewing the neighbor who heard the fire alarm and called 911. The marshal's team will determine the cause and assess any safety violations, as standard protocol for serious residential fires in the province. Simone Okonkwo, GMNA News, Etobicoke.
An 83-year-old woman was killed in a wrong-way collision on the QEW near Oakville, prompting an Ontario Provincial Police investigation into the fatal incident. Tobias Kwan has the full story.
An 83-year-old driver lost her life on the QEW after entering the highway in the opposite direction, colliding head-on with oncoming traffic near Oakville's Upper Middle Road interchange. Ontario Provincial Police arrived within minutes, securing the scene and confirming that the woman was the only fatality. Witnesses described seeing a vehicle traveling the wrong way shortly before the impact, prompting a brief shutdown of the westbound lanes while investigators gathered evidence. The OPP said the crash underscores the dangers of driving against traffic, and they are reviewing dash cam footage and conducting a full investigation. No other vehicles were seriously injured, and traffic resumed after the highway was cleared. The police department will release its findings once the investigation is complete. Tobias Kwan, GMNA News, Oakville. Police say organized crime groups are using encrypted messaging apps to recruit Toronto youth, a tactic highlighted after two incidents, including gunfire at the U.S. consulate, left investigators hamstrung by Bill C-22. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
Police say organized crime groups are turning to encrypted messaging apps to lure teenagers and young adults into illegal activity. The tactic came to light after two separate incidents of gunfire erupted at the United States consulate in downtown Toronto on Friday evening, prompting a swift police response and a handful of arrests. Detectives say the suspects used secure chat platforms to coordinate the attacks and to reach potential recruits, but the investigation is hampered by the absence of powers granted under Bill C-22. Without authority to compel service providers to hand over decryption data, investigators say they are forced to rely on traditional methods, slowing the case. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Toronto.
Toronto police fatally shot a driver during a Mississauga traffic stop, leading to 3 arrests on 42 firearm-related charges. Investigations continue as authorities review the incident. Tobias Kwan has the full story.
On August 6th, officers from the Toronto Police Service engaged a traffic stop in Mississauga that ended with the driver being fatally shot. The confrontation sparked a multi-agency investigation, and within days 3, individuals were taken into custody on firearm-related offenses. Police disclosed that the suspects face a total of 42 charges, ranging from possession of a restricted weapon to unlawful discharge. Authorities said the arrests are linked to evidence gathered after the shooting, though no further details of the suspects' identities were released. The incident has prompted an internal review by Toronto police, while Mississauga officials are cooperating with the ongoing probe. The shooting occurred on a busy arterial near the city's central corridor, and traffic was temporarily rerouted while investigators processed the scene. Tobias Kwan, GMNA News, Mississauga. Toronto police are investigating a fatal collision on the East End, where a 62-year-old man was struck by a TTC streetcar, resulting in his death. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
At about 5:44 p.m. on Friday, a 62-year-old man was struck by a Toronto Transit Commission streetcar traveling along the East End tracks. Police say the collision occurred near the intersection of Danforth Avenue and Broadview Avenue, where the vehicle failed to stop in time. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but the victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Toronto Police Service has opened an investigation, and the TTC is cooperating, reviewing video footage and operating procedures. No other passengers were injured, and streetcar service resumed after a brief suspension while investigators secured the area. Investigators are speaking with several witnesses, and the TTC plans to release a statement later today. In the meantime, police redirected traffic along streets while crews cleared the tracks. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, East York.
Now let's check your afternoon outlook with our meteorologist coming up next.
A westward jet and falling pressure are pulling a warm front into Toronto, reshaping today's sky. On this date, the all-time high sits at 32.3 degrees, recorded in 2005 during a lingering heat wave that pushed daily averages well into the mid-30s. The record low is 13.7 degrees, set in 2008 when an Arctic dip slipped south, blanketing the city in frost despite summer sunshine. Today's climatological normal hovers around 22 degrees high and 18 low, so we sit comfortably between the extremes, a reminder of how variable August can be. The live radar is completely clear across southern Ontario. No echoes are visible from the lake or the interior, confirming that the westward jet at 106 km per hour is steering dry air aloft. With pressure falling but still near average, there is no lift to generate showers. Expect the sky to remain cloud-free through the afternoon, with any stray cirrus arriving after sunset. At noon, the temperature reads 21 degrees under a clear sky, humidity hovering near 80% and a light west wind of 8 km per hour. Pressure is falling, signaling an unsettled system approaching from the west, while the jet stream overhead streams at 106 km per hour, reinforcing the gentle lift. By mid-afternoon, temperatures climb to 25 degrees, then dip slightly to 23 as clouds drift in for the evening. The ultraviolet index sits at 7, and wind will gust to 18 km per hour from the south, feeling a modest breeze. No precipitation is forecast, and there are no active weather alerts. As the sun sets around 8:30, we now turn to the 5-day outlook. Monday brings a high of 26 degrees and a low of 18, but cloud cover will dominate, keeping sunshine at a premium. Tuesday clears dramatically, returning to a high of 26 and a low of 17 under mostly blue skies, a brief respite before the midweek trough. Wednesday's system deepens, dropping the high to 23 and the low to 17, with a 40% chance of rain that could arrive late in the afternoon as the jet dips southward. Thursday rebounds to a high of 24 and a low of 16, the sky clearing again as high pressure builds. Friday remains mild with a high of 23 and a low of 16, and the atmosphere stays dry through the weekend. The pattern showcases a classic swing from overcast to clear, then a brief wet spell before stabilizing. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic slow with construction detours, the Blue Jays chase a sweep of the Phillies, and Taco Fest sizzles today. Stay tuned, we will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes, the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Markham Road between Ellesmere and Brimorton is closed as a crane works through the morning. The closure forces traffic onto Danforth and Lawrence, adding roughly 10 minutes during peak. TTC streetcars are rerouted onto Danforth and Lawrence as well, so riders should expect the same delay. Eastern Avenue from Sumech to Broadview is also shut, diverting east-west traffic onto Queen and Jarvis. The impact is minor, but drivers will see a few extra minutes. Adelaide Street East between Power and Eastern remains blocked, pushing vehicles onto King and Church. In the downtown core, construction on College between Bay and Yonge and on Carlton between Church and Yonge continues. Streetcar lanes are narrowed, so service runs slower but remains on schedule. Overall, most other arterial roads, including the Gardiner and Highway 4, are moving freely. Expect afternoon traffic to stay steady, with the same detours in place until the crane leaves later this evening.
Rush celebrates its 50-something milestone tonight at Scotiabank Arena, delivering the classic rock anthems that defined a generation. A must-see for any fan of soaring guitars and stadium sing-alongs. The National Bank Open Women's Tennis Round of 16 is underway at Sobeys Stadium, where the world's top players battle for a spot in the quarterfinals, promising high-octane rallies you won't want to miss. Taco Fest at Fort York serves a 3-day fiesta of authentic Mexican dishes, cocktails, and more than 175 taco variations, giving lunch breakers a quick flavor-packed escape before heading back to the office. Jerkfest Toronto lights up Centennial Park with Caribbean street food, live reggae beats, and a kids zone, marking 25 years of island culture and offering a vibrant, family-friendly afternoon. Looking ahead, the Blue Jays host the Boston Red Sox at Rogers Center on Saturday, a summer showdown that could tip the season's balance. And now here's Marcus with sports.
Morning buzz, Toronto. The Jays are turning heads with a sweep chase and extra innings heroics. Manager Chris Bieber is eyeing a rare sweep of Philadelphia, a feat the club hasn't pulled off in years. Securing all 3 games would inject momentum into Toronto's rotation and give the lineup a confidence boost as the stretch run approaches, sharpening their playoff push. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s third-inning RBI single helped spark a marathon 11-inning battle that ended with Toronto edging Philadelphia 7-5. Max Scherzer's 5 strong innings set the tone, and the bullpen's clutch work now positions the Jays to carry this resilience into their next road trip. Nathan Lukes delivered the decisive spark, making key defensive stops and providing the go-ahead hit in extra innings. His two-way impact tipped the balance in Toronto's favor, underscoring the depth of the roster and giving the manager a versatile piece for late-game situations.
Taste of the Danforth returns to Greektown on the Danforth, lighting up the streets from August 7 to 9, 2026. After a 2-year pause, the beloved street festival brings dozens of local vendors, sizzling souvlaki, fresh baklava, and live Greek music and dance to the heart of the neighborhood. The Ontario government is backing the comeback with $200,000, helping the event draw thousands of visitors and give the summer economy a serious boost. For longtime residents, it's more than food, it's a reminder that our cultural roots keep the city vibrant. Taste of the Danforth proves that when we celebrate community, Toronto thrives, and families gather on the sidewalks, sharing plates and stories well into the night. Up next, we reveal how the RCMP seized $4.05 in cocaine and the 3 charged today. Stay tuned. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes, the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. World-class women's tennis returns to Toronto today as the round of 16 kicks off at Sobeys Stadium, promising high-stakes matches and hometown excitement. Fans will gather to see top-ranked players battle for a spot in the quarterfinals, with the energy of North York's crowd fueling the competition. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, Jordan Parker. The sun hangs low over Sobeys Stadium, casting a golden glow on the packed stands as I stand on the sidelines. The scent of fresh popcorn mixes with the crisp August air, while a sea of fans in red and white wave flags chanting for their favorites. On this August 9, 2026, the National Bank Open WTA round of 16 begins with 2 sessions. First at 12:30 p.m., then at 7 p.m. I hear the thud of balls in the warm-up courts, see Arina Sablenka's powerful serve slicing through the humid breeze, and watch Coco Gauff sprint across the baseline, her grin flashing confidence. The stadium's glass facade reflects the excitement, and every rally draws a collective gasp that ripples through the crowd. Young fans clutch signed program booklets, dreaming of one day stepping onto this very court. The high-stakes matches decide who moves on and inspire the next generation of Canadian girls to pick up a racket. Carl Dumont, virtually at Sobeys Stadium.
Welcome back. The RCMP seized over 170 kilograms of cocaine, valued at $4.5 million, and laid drug trafficking charges against 3 men in southern Ontario on August 7, 2026. Simon Okonkwo has the full story.
Police moved in early Tuesday on a rural stretch of highway near the town of Woodstock, intercepting a convoy that authorities say was transporting a large cocaine shipment. Officers from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police recovered more than 170 kilograms of the white powder, a haul estimated at $4.5 million. The seizure triggered immediate drug trafficking charges against 3 men, all of whom remain in custody pending court appearances. Investigators traced the load to a cross-border network operating across southern Ontario, saying the operation disrupted a major supply line. The RCMP continues to follow leads tied to the bust as the case moves forward. Simon Okonkwo, GMNA News, Ontario.
Southwold Township declared a state of emergency after intense rain inundated local roads, prompting immediate repair efforts across southwestern Ontario. Tobias Kwan has the full story.
Heavy rain hammered the township of Southwold on August 7th, flooding dozens of streets and turning several main arteries into shallow rivers. Municipal crews raced to set up sandbags and divert water, while traffic on Highway 34 and local avenues was halted as vehicles waded through ankle-deep water. By late afternoon, the township's emergency manager announced a formal state of emergency, unlocking provincial assistance for immediate road repairs and drainage work. Residents were urged to avoid non-essential travel as crews began clearing debris and pumping water from culverts. The declaration also activates overtime for public works staff and fast-tracks contracts for asphalt resurfacing. The community hopes the swift response will restore safe passage by week's end. Tobias Kwan, GMNA News, Southwold.
Thanks, Toronto, for joining us on the lunch break. It was striking to see the Danforth buzzing with thousands on day 2, even as safety concerns lingered. I'm Jordan Parker. Stay tuned tomorrow for more of the city's stories, your voice, your community, your news. We'll keep you informed.